Hello everybody. So, I'm a day late on this. So this is the how to set up for modding for Breaking Wheel. The most annoying part about this is all the downloads. It's just time because of everything you have to have. So the first thing you're going to want to do is if you have the game, you're going to want to go to the DLC, which is Breaking Wheel modding files. I am recording in 4K, so I apologize people who don't see as much expanded. I'll try to explain. But it's how I work on. It's really hard to drop this back down and actually do things, so I'm sorry about that. So the modding files, once you get them, where does it say that? Okay, it does say the specs. So you need 34 gigabytes of available storage space. The reason for this is because of the way the engine cooks the game. You're not exactly just cooking your mod files every time. You're actually going to build the entire game. So what it actually includes is all of our source files, all of our project files, and then it includes the cooked version to help speed you along a little bit, as well as the actual build of the game inside of it again, inside of the folder structure. So this is the size that it would be on your hard drive regardless. We could have dumbed it down to 10 gigs and maybe a 4 or 5 gig download, but your computer would have ended up wasting an hour and a half building everything afterwards, maybe even longer depending on your computer. So it seemed better to give you the realistic files. So you had to do only as much as you had to do. Excuse me. So once you have that downloaded, you also want to download Visual Studio 2015. I'll put these links in the description. Mine's already downloaded, so it would do a repair for me, but Visual Studio, when you download it, it should pop up an installer, and what you want to do with that installer is you want to customize it. Let's see if this actually works. It's probably going to tell me I need to repair, or ask me if I want to repair or whatnot, but it should bring up the same menu. When you bring it up, you don't want to install with the basics. It will not install what you actually need. It'll install what you need to actually run the engine, but as far as compiling and building the project, it will fail at it. You've got to install the common tools. So this is another 12 gigs. Visual Studio does not seem to be very small. So you want the Visual C++ common tools for Visual C++ installed. I believe it's 12 gigs. The rest of it can stay as default. I think you need common tools as well at the bottom, but I'm not 100%. We just installed it all because YOLO. The You'll know if you didn't get it right when you try to actually build your first mod and it gives you a Visual Studio common tools were not installed correctly. So there you go. The other one, yeah, someone cancel setup. The other one you want is Unreal Engine. You need Unreal Engine to actually open our project files. We're just giving you the project files. We can't distribute Unreal Engine. That's illegal. So unrealengine.com, and then you just do get Unreal, and then it'll probably tag you to actually make a, well, that's going to get blurred out. I'm stupid. The part being blurred out right now is all my personal information because I'm an idiot, and I hit a stupid button. So once you do get Unreal, it's going to download the launcher. When you fire up the launcher, there should be a button up here that says install at the top left, the orange one for mine that says launch. As of recording this, the current version of the engine is 4.14.1, and it's what our game is running on right now. If you're watching this in the future and you want to mod our game, you have to download 4.14.1 unless, reading the description, if this is the future and I've updated it or we pushed the engine, which I doubt, because 4.14.1 is actually working perfectly for everything so far in modding. They might get friendlier in the future. We might migrate it to a different engine version, but right now you can actually pick your different engine versions when you go to the library, and you can do add versions, because we started on 4.12 and we recently migrated to 4.14. So once that's downloaded, the game files are actually in wherever your Steam is, Steam Apps, Common, sort of like Skyrim or anything else, Breaking Wheel, and we split it up into 3 folders. So if you have the original soundtrack, it's in its folder, the main game's in its folder, and the modding tools are in its folder. As of right now, if anybody has this really funny bug where it keeps reinstalling the redistributables, delete this file right here. It's called installscript.vdf. Our next update in a couple of days, we'll actually uninstall that for you. It's a Steam problem, but we can uninstall it because it's inside of our folder structure, so we're killing it for you after the first load. So in the modding tools, you'll actually be missing some of these folders, like intermediate, binaries. The game will build it the moment you click this. It'll ask you if you want to build, and you tell it yes, and it'll build the binaries and everything for you. And then it will launch the game. If you have Unreal installed, it will auto-detect your version. If you do not have the version that this is, it will tell you. So even if you have a future version and you accidentally installed it, or you installed the wrong version, the project file is linked to that version, and it will tell you if you messed up. Excuse me. Sorry about the coughs and the phlegm stuff. I don't know. I've had the hiccups. I haven't even eaten anything. I just got up, had the hiccups. Okay, so yours isn't really going to look like this. I think yours will look like this, with maybe some changes in size, etc. I find it useful to always show the resources panel. Something that you're not going to show off the bat, which is probably a good thing, you don't need it, is the plugin stuff. There we go. So we don't need the plugin stuff for what you guys are doing. So the any mods you make, you can actually put them, you can technically put them anywhere inside of this folder structure. If you mod a level, however, it will not be read unless you actually put it in the mods folder. And the mods folder needs a new folder where you can name it whatever you want the mod name to be, or your name. Excuse me. I'll probably try to edit out my coughs because they're annoying. So let's name this one Darren's Test Mod 75, since I probably have some folders in there named Darren's Test Mod. Underneath that, you also need a folder for metadata. Now, metadata is what's going to tell a level to load. Anything else you can have anywhere else, but the mods, your mod name, metadata folder structure is actually needed. And in metadata, this is if you do a level as well. In metadata, you want to add a blueprint class, and then you click all classes and you type in mod. And the very top one should be Breaking Wheel Mod. Select it, name it. This has to be named unique, by the way. If this has the same name as somebody else's mod, it's only going to load the first one that it comes to with a unique name. So you can name it anything you want, like 007 Bob the Builder Mod 555555. It doesn't matter. The game's going to read it dynamically as long as it has a different name than any of the previous ones it loaded. Excuse me. The same thing is true about levels. So if you want to make a level, I'm just going to make a new folder and do level. And in levels, you would just click level. That's literally how easy it is. Sorry, I'm probably going a little fast, but 777. Lucky level, bad design. So sorry, right click. If you look up, we're just using the base Unreal Engine, so any tutorials should still apply. But right click and then level, and that creates a level. And levels are the backbone. Levels are what you load. Levels are what you play. So you can make anything you want in your level. By default, you always want to save selected. Whenever you try to load something, it'll check to see what you saved. And if you notice as well, when I put a new level in and I just leave it, there's this little star at the bottom right of it, if you can see that. That star means that it's not saved yet, which means if the engine crashes, you're going to lose that data. If you close the engine, however, it will prompt you to save it. So I'm actually going to delete that for now. So I boot up the level, and now our level literally has nothing in it. So we're just going to do a quick test. I'm going to create a cube. You use WASD, by the way. That's what I'm using to move around while holding right click. Pretty much like FPS controls, which is really cool. Mouse scroll zooms you in, zooms out. You've got pan speed up here. You've got scaling options up here. You've got the rotation, grid snap. You can pick whether it's world align or self align. Right now, because I dropped it in, it's just world align anyway for both. So it works like a lot of other editors. And up here, you've got your lit, unlit, wireframe, detail lighting, player collisions. That one's actually really useful. I like that one. So right now, we're going to do it as lit, because now you'll see there's nothing in this level. And over here, the easiest way is just to type in light, and you get a directional light. You pop it in, and it makes everything super glowy. And then you always want a player start. Okay, I'm just going to type in start. There we go. So what our levels are doing is whenever you create a new level, it's going to automatically tag onto our framework. If you want it off our framework, if you're somebody else who, you would probably know this anyway, but you open the level blueprint and you would undo the parent begin play, and I believe you would have to unparent it. Yeah, our parent class is Ball level. You would probably want to change it back to level script actor or your own parent. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to show how to mod a level in our game. So now if I hit play, I'll probably be blinded. This is another great feature, by the way, of Unreal. You can play in the engine. Like I'm playing in the engine right now. And that's why you get the lighting needs to be rebuilt. I've got a timer, I've got my coffee, and I've got nothing but blinding white light, which is, you know, what I get when I just throw a giant white thing in here. Now, the cool thing with Unreal is the tabs over here on the right. I think this is where it starts by default. I'm not 100%. Look for your own tab. It's when you click on anything, you'll get a details tab. So the light automatically has a whole bunch of settings like intensity. I can lower it, and you can see it in real time. And I can make it super bright, make it low. You can only go up to 20. You can change the angle, but you can also change the angle by hitting space and changing it around. And there you go. And we've implemented the same thing in all of our blueprints. Our blueprints are all in data. Like some of these other folders I would not recommend using if you're a modder, because anything that's still in our folders is likely going to be moved around a bit. We've tried to put everything that's going to stay where it's at inside of the data folder. Excuse me. And you can even open our levels. All the levels that you played in the game are openable here. You have everything. You have access to everything. It's your game. Inside of this is, inside the data folder, the most commonly used stuff is going to be meshes. Meshes and blueprints. Now, meshes are just the, you got iceland, fireland, grassland pieces, markers, props, traps. Where are traps in here? Oh, that's just stuff HN put in there. So you've got all the different pieces: fire engine, fire fortress, fire deco. Let's do forge. Do I have pieces in forge I can make a level with? Fire background, fire deco. Where's the ground pieces? I'm terrible at this. Terrible at my own stuff. But it takes a little bit to load sometimes when it's loading all the assets down here. So all your assets, these are just static pieces. They don't do anything besides be static. So there's a lot more detail you can get into. Like if you go to the collision, you'll now see that that's extra collision added in here. Well, since you're only operating on, I need to make this shorter than I'm making it, but I'm kind of making it really long. So see, your X you started at 0, or started at 710. It's always good to put your X to 0, because then you know that because you're moving along the Y as the character, you can always put everything at 0 to center it in on the character, depending on where its axis is at. So if I wanted to put this rocky stuff here, I could then put it to 0, and I should be centered to the player. And then if you hold Alt, I'm doing a lot of stuff that's in the basic tutorials. I'm going to link to some basic tutorials as well. If you hold Alt, you can duplicate as you drag. So now when I hit play, I'll just be running along this. Whee! So that's just how you drag and drop pieces. There is snap, by the way, if you have, see, and sometimes the alignment's on the corner, so be careful. Your snap nodes are up here. You can put it to 500, so now I'm going to bounce every time I move this thing. Watch. It's going to be like, dope, 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 dope. We find working with 10 to be really easy. Sometimes you can still get overlap, and then when you get overlap, you'll see the Z fighting, and you'll be able to fix it. The really cool thing about working in engine is working with this engine is the ability to just play test it by hitting play, and just be like, whee! See? Now, there's a lot more complicated things you can do with blueprints. Even the open level blueprint, there's a lot of stuff with event begin play. You can create trigger volumes out here. It's a lot of detail and information that, you know, you can detect if the player hits this. Our player has a default tag of player. Our enemies have default tags of enemies. I would highly advise looking up basic tutorials for Unreal. Anybody who's modded or played with these things before, you'll get a good feel for it. Some of the basic tutorials for Unreal that we'll link are boring at first, but the information they get to and they disseminate, they do it in a kind of a long-winded manner if you're actually experienced, but the information they give you is worth the wait. We sat through a lot of the tutorials as we were learning this. So the next thing that comes to is blueprints. So blueprints, we have an entire folder of them. These you probably don't want to mess with, the game modes, utility, etc. But if you want to mess with them, mess with them. It's not going to screw up your main game. This will only screw up your test game, which is in this folder. So world objects is where we have most of our stuff. For some reason, our finish point is sitting under world objects, which is fine. You drop a finish point into your level. If you hit that, that is the end of your level. So that's pretty easy to do right off the rip, right? So if I play and I hit that, I will end the level. I completed nothing because it's not actually on the framework yet. it'll auto detect the coins, coffee, and the chicken in your level, your high score. And if I go to select a level, even in the engine, it'll let me pull up everything that I have. So see, you're not under mods yet. So we'll get there in just a second. Oops, I hit back. Now I'm loading the main menu. This is going to be the longest video ever. I'm sorry, guys. But I kind of want to make sure you guys have the full info. And by the way, if you've gotten this far, feel free to drop in our Discord. There'll be a link down below. Ask for help. We're all using the same engine. We can all help you with this. We learned it from scratch. It's not that difficult. Once you get used to it, it's really cool. If you hit escape at any point, you will actually exit back out to the level you were on. And the funny thing is that no matter where you start from, if you were playing it, it'll exit with your camera right there, which is kind of cool. So another thing, I think our wheel auto detects the axis you're on as well. Yes, so if you change the rotation, you can actually change the entire rotation of the wheel. So it's usually good form to start off with it at the correct one, 0, 0, 0, 0. This is at 0, 0.25. Excuse me. So in our blueprints, we have an enemies folder. We have items, which is, you know, your treasure chest. Place that sucker at 0. It's got a tab over here for how many coins. You can give it 50 if you want, and then it'll give you 50 coins. Also, I've added 2 more functions to it, which are open remotely and close lid after coins. This allows it to be reused, which is really cool. So if I did, say I did 5 coins and I want it to be a reusable chest, I would click to open it after coins were, or close lid after coins were done. I failed. Nobody saw that. Okay, I'll have to fix that at some point. It was mostly for the open remotely. Also, if you want to copy and change our blueprints, if you're actually looking into doing that, and these are the blueprints for the, you can see where I got my squiggly stuff in here. Malt hates me for that stuff. Anything that looks clean and nice is usually Malta's or Big's. Anything that looks like a kid with Tourette's did it is probably mine. It just works. So if you actually wanted to edit the blueprints for these, it would be smarter to, say, drag and drop the treasure chest into your mods folder. So you could actually just make a folder inside of your mods folder named, you know, blueprints. So now you have a blueprints folder. So say you want to move the treasure chest into there. So you move the treasure chest into blueprints. You copy here. Now you have your own treasure chest blueprint you can place in the levels, which means you can have a little fun with it. You could play sound. This is the sound that it makes when it opens up. Instead, you could change it to whatever you want. I don't know. Ball spikes retract. Compile. We'll just do that. So now when the chest opens, when your chest opens, it should make a spike sound, which will scare people. Yep. Spike sound. So there you go. That's how you would move a blueprint and edit the blueprints based on our framework. The traps are the same way. The traps, you know, anything you pick in here with our traps generally has a whole lot of things you could modify with them. So we'll just do spikes for general. Spikes generally just sit there and they're spikes. Down here you've got an arrow under trap properties. And you can actually choose the trigger type to automated or on trigger enter. If you change it to on trigger enter, that orange volume that just appeared will now be where the spikes trigger when the player gets close. And the cool thing over here is you can move that. So you can select it. Oops, that's the wrong one. You can select the, where is the trigger box? Is that this? We don't know how to make games. Trigger sphere, endpoint, activation trigger. There it is. So you could actually move it around by selecting inside the blueprint itself. It's really a powerful engine. So we can make those spikes come out if you're anywhere in this area, right? And then if you leave it, they'll go down. So you'll actually see them come up when I jump. They'll go back down. And they'll come out. And they'll go back down. They'll come out. They'll go back down. And if I hit it, I will die. Rah. Okay, I'm going to hit escape before it resets. You also have the damage type, fire, ice, earth, which will actually change the texture on them because the blueprint for this one was pretty fun. It's just a lot of stuff in here and then a lot of stuff in the construction script to change everything around. Like I said, look into blueprints. They're really, really cool. We've got all the other different trap types, etc. You know, a trap treasure chest as well. This one was Ryan's funny idea. Let's make a treasure chest that kills you. I think somebody linked it was just like F you repeatedly because he jumped on it at the start of one of the levels. You know what, let's leave it there. That's fine. So there's a lot of other things you can play with. I'm not going to go into everything. We have weapons, and we have the weapon drops somewhere in here. I think it's, I don't know. Ask Big and come in our Discord, or look around at our other levels. That'll work. As far as doing a skin, so we've got this in here. We've got our, where's our metadata? Let's do our metadata real quick. So this is how you hook up your level. The skins tab isn't used. If you had music, you would add your music through here and do the artist names, genre, and then the songs would be a whole nother array where you would select your songs from. I'm not 100% if this one would work right now, something we did with how the skins does it the same way, but we're 100% the levels work. So you've got your level. You got to go figure out your name of your level, which I'm just going to double click it, Control C, level name, Control V. Next one is the display name of your level. And this one we will call stupid test level. And then author, DDP, and then you can set your par timer of, I don't even know if it will let me do 20 hours. We will see. And then you get a preview image. That's the image you see when you hover over it and the image you see on the load screen. We don't have a preview image for this, so it always defaults to the start screen. We can select anything we want in here, like any of the textures too, for lulz. And then when you hit play, it won't do it because it's not in the menu because I'm stupid. If you want to go to the menu, it's Data, UI, Main Menu. And then it'll ask me to save everything that I did. Play, wait for it to load. Whee. Now I should be able to hit play level, mods, stupid test level, and see how it changes the background. There you go. It changes it again. Oh, this is fine, by the way. What you're seeing right here, it doesn't, our load screen doesn't work in Engine that well. It shows the background as well. So when you actually build it, the load screen will work just fine, we hope. I think that one showed the background because it has an alpha map. So now we're playing our level with 59 minutes. I was right. It doesn't allow you to go that far. Then again, if you make a level that takes longer than an hour to finish, you are a sadistic, crazy person. That time bonus, though, look at that. Look at that. Now when you go to select level, mods, you got your high score by DDP, stupid test level, bam, bam, bam. Once you've finished testing everything and you've got it how you want it. Oh, skins. Let's do skins real quick. This is for anybody who wants to make skins. The easiest way to do skins is go Data, Skins, and then make your own folder for a skin. This is the only one that doesn't use the mod thing. Our skins are dynamically read from our Data Skins folder. So you would want to make your skin stupid skin 01. This folder name doesn't matter as long as there's a folder there. So stupid skin 01. And then we generally have blueprints, materials, meshes, and textures. You can do this one however you want. But keeping the same folder structure isn't a bad idea. So now we've got this. The easiest way is probably to copy one of our skins. Probably the cryo fan, as it's the least resource intensive and doesn't use any exterior resources like the substance graph files. I will try to get HN to write up a tutorial if you're using Substance. Oh, and Substance plugins required. On Unreal will install it for you. So if you move it here and copy here, you will then have the cryo fan, which you can double click and you can look at. And it's pretty easy. There's the wheel, sides, anything under the skin marker is what you want. You kind of want to size it the same. Blueprints you can drag and drop anything into. So if we had, we're just going to do something stupid on this one because I'm wasting a lot of your guys' time with this. I'm sorry. Say we wanted to just add something dumb to it. So I'm going to drag in a minecart. And then I'm going to scale up the minecart. Alright, now that looks like the dumbest skin alive, right? Well, that was the dumbest scaling alive too. Now an interesting thing is over here, if you look at it, it says collision preset block all dynamic. If you make a skin, it cannot have collision. You have to have no collision on your skin or it'll bug out the game. And then I want to move it into the skin marker. So now compile. Now the other cool thing is the spikes. So these are the spikes for this guy. And what the spikes do is in the event graph we have event spikes out, event spikes in, and a timeline. Now what this timeline does is it just goes from 0 to 0.2 and back again to make the spike scale out and in. So the spike scale out is 5.5 to 5.5, the in is 4.4 to 4.4. So what that's going to do is, and see, it auto detects the spikes. So if you actually click the spikes and replace them with some other mesh, you could actually just make it something else entirely. See, so now we've got this, that's our baseline. We don't want that to be our baseline. We want our baseline to be, say, 3. There we go. So now our spikes are this sucker. Let's make it 2.8. And then the spikes, and then if we wanted to change it, we would select these and make these 2.8. I'm going a little fast, but you guys can figure this out, or we can help you out with it later. Do some actual tutorials. This is just trying to get you started modding, so it's a little bit long as it is. So 4 and 4, and now what's going to happen is if you go to, if we're on the main menu, I should be able to. Oh, let's change the name of it. So if you go to class settings, or sorry, class defaults, you can change the author to your name if you want. You can change the skin name. So this is dumbest skin ever, and you can change the price, which if you want to make it free and unlocked instantly, you set it to 0. I also forgot to, did I pick no collision on it? Oh, it was no collision. Okay. So now we should actually see this skin in here. This is why it's really cool to test it in the engine, because the build takes a little while, unfortunately, with how we set this up. So I should be able to cycle and find it. Dumbest skin ever, where are you? If I can't find it, I'm an idiot. Does it put it at the end? Now I feel dumb. Where's my skin? I might edit this out. I should have put it right next to the wood wheel. What did I do? Okay. Shadowplay kind of screwed up my record, so I'm re-recording this part. I believe I just was trying to figure out why the skin wasn't working. I forgot to rename it, and I forgot to save it. That was it. It wasn't saved, so the game wasn't reading it. That was literally it. So I'll just show you the skin real quick, and then I'll get onto the building, which I think it didn't record as well, unfortunately. There's our stupid skin. Dumbest skin ever. There's no customization option, so it'll load right away. And then you can play a level with it if you want to, and it's just like, we level, and you'll see the skin. So then we'll get into the building, and then I will just splice in the next part of the building where we had to move this folder because of the length of the file names. If the length of the file path to get to the file exceeds 260, Unreal doesn't want to build it. Here's our dumb skin. I'll even hit C to do God mode, which isn't our God mode button anymore because we don't want anybody to cheat. Yay, stupid skin. Okay, so what you want to do when you want to actually build your mod is go to Project Windows, Project Launcher. You're going to want to create a new project. You're going to want to it's like seasonal asthma for me. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so mine is already done with one rule to rule them all, but we'll edit this one real quick. So this is really easy. You'll do project, any project. Do you wish to build? Yep, check mark. Build configuration, shipping. That's it for here. Cook, how would you like to cook this content? By the book. You want to select Windows, no editor. You want to scroll down to select EN, EN, there we go. And then for here, cooked maps, you only want to select the map that you want to cook, which for ours is 777 Lucky Level Bad Design. Under Releases DLC, leave it all blank. Under Advanced Settings, uncheck Compressed Content, uncheck basically everything unchecked here except for Iterative Cooking, which doesn't work at the moment. It seems it doesn't work, but check it anyway. They might patch it and fix it so builds will be faster. Then for cooker build configuration, put it as shipping. Once you save this, this will be saved forever, by the way. We can't ship it with we can't give you these presets. Package, you want to package and store locally and just leave it all blank. Do you wish to archive? Nope, leave that blank. And then leave deploy as default deploy platform none, just leave that. And then under launch, put do not launch. Up here you can name it whatever you want. Modding video thing. Then hit back and then hit launch. And when it launches, it'll start this up. This took, the next part of this video was recorded before this part of the video. It took, I think, 16 minutes for it to build, and then I'll show you everything from there. So, be right back. Alright, everybody, welcome back. As you see, it took about 16 minutes to finish everything. 1434, 32, 102. And it's about what it's always going to take, because it does have to go and scan everything, and it just takes time. 1500 errors. It's just all yellow errors where it's just naming stuff, whatever. Should never be a big deal. So once you have that done, so I've got a Nexus mod manager up. That this will be the latest version that they do at some point, which will be something 6.63.110. So when that comes out, it will auto detect breaking wheel when you check, and I already had tried some mods before. So now you basically just got to create your own folder to zip it, just like you do with other mods. So we'll name this modding video test. This folder doesn't matter because it's just, it puts it into content. So if you're at your modding tools, go to modding tools, and then what happens is now you want to go to saved, staged builds, Windows no editor, LE ball project, content. So anything inside of here that you've changed is what you want to put in there. So basically the mods is mostly everything we did, since we did mods, Darren's test mod, blueprint levels, metadata. So we can copy the entire mods folder and then just delete that this is here to be read. It's not a big deal. That's just there to be read. I don't think it's actually correct anymore either, so it's really kind of misleading. So the other thing we did was we added a skin. So you want to create your own data folder here just for structure, and then you want to create your skins folder, and then we go to data, skins, and we made stupid skin, wasn't it? Stupid skin 01. So we'll copy it into here. Then you go back to here, you select these two, 7-zip, add to archive, modding video test 7z, okay. And now we have this. So to show you how it loads up, I can't wait to fix that redistributable in the next bug, the next thing, guys. That's just so annoying that Steam keeps trying to reinstall the, we even looked into it, just like a Steam bug that can happen. I don't know if it's because of our latest Unreal build or what, but that'll be nice when we get rid of that. I noticed it and I thought it was because we had a developer comp, and then people started reporting that it just keeps reinstalling it, and I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. Okay, so play level. If you'll notice, I've got some mods here already. Bastion, Marble Madness. Damn it. So these three are already here. These are, this one and this one I believe you'll be able to get on Nexus here in a few once Ryan installs them. So you see our thing isn't there currently. So if I drag this into here, if you download it off of Nexus, it should auto do this. And it'll put it in here, then you can check it to install it. Installed. Oh, I can even launch Breaking Wheel from here. I forgot about that. Best tutorial video ever. It's all over the place. The biggest issue with this is the folder structure and just the time initially and the time to cook every time. But your mod is basically done by the time you cook it, and it's for efficiency, etc. So now we can play level mods. There's the one we tried. And that was an alpha, because you can see through it still. I'm pointing at the screen like you guys can see my hands. So that was an alpha map, was all that was. So there, we got our level. Whee! Well, bad chest. I'm stupid. I'm gonna get the max points on this level, guys. MVP. Woo! Nope, nope, I'm terrible. I'm restarting. I want the max score. Oh, I forgot to show the skin, too. The skin should be in there, too. But I panicked as well. I pulled backwards on the damn thing. I only got one of the coins because I ended the level before they all popped out. But I still got a 1,000,000 score. I'm awesome. I'll show you our skins there too. Select skin. Boop, 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 boop. I was on the substance skin. That's another one you can download too. I think Big's got that one up. The bottle cap skin. Oh, there it is. Dumbest skin ever. And one of the other levels that's I'll show you the mod level. Well, Bastion's a mod level too, but Bastion's a normal level. The skin looks so stupid. Bastion we decided to do as a level because if you notice the camera is just kind of cancer. It's a bad test at trying to do 3D psychoticness. This goes all over the place. It's like a really compact, fun level, but it's just... And you can get out of it, apparently, too. Yay, I'm off the level grid. Whee! Okay, that's a bad idea. One of the other mod levels you'll be able to get is just... We'll probably fill this one out at some point in the actual game as a bonus level. I want to show people some of the things that are possible. This is a Marble Madness level. So, basically, the more coffee you collect, the bigger you get. You get more mass in this level, and you move faster. I just put them all here, so if you notice, the marble is getting a little bit bigger. And if you look at the bottom left, there, I need to put numbers next to those, but the first one is for 1, the next one's for 2, the next one's for 3. So what happens is if you hit 1, you grow... Nope, I was wrong. I put them in the wrong order. So it's a break game. You get to break stuff with your marble. So 1 must be my smash, so I'm going to go do some wall hopping because this one's fun. See if I can get over there. And then 1 should smash me. Brah. The higher you are and the more mass you have, the more damage that ground slam does. Then it has a cooldown bar. And then 3 should be turning me big, which gives me just more mass to knock things over. And then 2 turns me on fire, and then every time I hit stuff, we just get explosions. It's the Mr. Torque power up. See, the ice slam's almost up again. I'm gonna use it. No, I screwed up the wall bounce. The wall bounce isn't a perfect science yet. Come on. It's like once you get it, you gotta just go for it, and then ground slam. It should be giving me coins, but I must have messed something up. Oh, I was using the old code too. I was casting the wrong stuff, so this doesn't actually give you any coins. Our score at the top, it looks like, 'cause it's not casting right. It's supposed to be giving you score, and every 1,000 points you get a coin. I'll probably mock it up and fix it for the... Why did I just run into you and break? Just don't care. It's fun. I don't know. I had fun. We're gonna make an entire level in here that you just blow to shreds. This one's got a 2-minute timer, so it should end in 2 seconds. 1 second. I want to make a couple levels with Marble Madness stuff. That was kind of... I just wanted to break things. Like, we could actually do it where you're traversing puzzles with the marble, too. Like Monkey Ball, etc. So if you've gotten this far in the video, then you probably want to try modding this. The only warning I have is Unreal will suck you in if you're a creative type. You'll enjoy it. It gives you a lot more creative freedom in what you can do. I'll link a bunch of tutorials below in this video as well. We've had a blast working with it. I'm going back to the creation kit here in a bit to make a Skyrim mod for Christmas, and I'm going to hate every second of it. And I already know this because the freedom we've had and every ounce of ingenuity and creativity is not been hampered so far with Unreal. So that's a warning to you guys. If you made it this far, you're probably going to make a mod, ask us for help, come on into Discord. We're willing to help people. We'll probably be doing write-ups and stuff over Christmas. It'll probably trickle in with information as we see the need for people. I mean, we've been working really hard, and everybody's kind of taking a chill break. I'll be killing myself making the Skyrim mod to get it out by Christmas, and then likely after I publish that Skyrim mod and get Ryan to put it up, I'm going to just take a break till New Year's. We got a vacation coming up, me and my wife, so first time I'm ever just going to say screw the laptop and not even bring it with me. I need a week without staring at a computer screen, I think, by this point. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully we start selling well, do some modding contests, get people, get you guys some money to do stuff. It'd be kind of cool, I think, seeing more people get into it. It's a little different workflow than you're used to with Bethesda games because all the loose files are instantaneous. But the cool thing is you play it in the engine, and then when you're ready to cook it, you're ready to go. So yeah, take it easy. I'm going to go format this video, and I hate formatting videos, so I'm going to get annoyed at myself. And I would love to see what you guys make. It's going to be interesting. Go crazy. We'll even play your guys' level. Well, I'll try to get a straight. I got an InsaneMindGames Twitch. We might play your guys' level, but I hit God mode in there, so I'll probably just cheat every time. So, alright. See you guys.